The Holy Roman Empire of the German nation, as it is commonly but unofficially referred to, was part of the greatest empire ever to be formed in history. Despite many historical conflicts as to when and how the Holy Roman Empire was truly formed, which were the year of 800, the coronation of Charlemagne, or the year 962, coronation of Otto I, it was mostly agreed that the empire began in the year 800 till the year 1800, lasting a whole century of time. The Holy Roman Empire had a wide and complex range of territories all throughout Western and Central Europe, which can be accumulated into initially three main kingdoms, namely the Kingdom of Germany, which was its largest territory after the year 962, followed by its neighboring countries, the Kingdom of Italy and Bohemia. Now, of course, the empire has expanded into many territories past the aforementioned kingdoms, but most were not even proclaimed as a kingdom except for a few, such as the Kingdom of Burgundy, which was only became one after the year 1198. The coronation of Charlemagne is one of the most important events in the European history, as this led to the creation of the Holy Roman Empire, which endured for an entire century, from 800 to 1800. This all started in 799 when Pope Leo III was attacked by a gang of armed men who attempted to root out Pope's eyes and tongue. The attack left Pope injured and unconscious, but he was rescued by the Charlemagne's men. Seeing the unstable situation in Rome, Charlemagne set out to restore the state of church, which was greatly disturbed. On the December 23rd, Pope Leo III took an oath of purgation concerning the charges held against him, and his accusers were deported by Charlemagne. 2 days later, on the December 25th, Charlemagne knelt at an altar to pray. As Charlemagne rose from his prayer, a crown was placed on his head by Pope Leo III. The Pope had crowned him as the Imperator Romanum, Emperor of the Romans. Charlemagne intended to divide his territories among his three sons, but two of them died, leaving the inheritance to its third son, Louis I the Pious. Louis divided the realms, making his son Lothar I emperor with him, and gave his younger sons Pippin and Louis the German subordinate kingdoms, Aquitaine and Moravia. Louis too was crowned by the Pope upon his father Lothar I's death as the sole Frankish emperor to rule Italy. His uncle Charles II the Bald took over after Louis II's death. Later, Charles III the Fat became the crowned emperor. However, at this point at 881, the imperial title held no power to support it. The Carolingian Empire was declining rapidly, and its states divided and no clear answer as to who was the rightful emperor. The empire after Frederick II. Frederick II was the son of Emperor Henry VI of the Hohenstaufen dynasty and was the king of many nations including King of Sicily, King of Germany, King of Italy, and the Holy Roman Empire, and also King of Jerusalem. A century after Frederick II's death, the one and the only true emperor was Henry VII, who was crowned by the legates of the Avignon Pope in Rome. The Germans, however, were unwilling to surrender hope for the empire's power. France, on the other hand, was striving for the imperial position that Napoleon was to secure. Moreover, in Germany, a civil war was undermining the power of kingship, and the monarchy was controlled by the prince through the College of Electors. Emperor Charles IV was a realist and set out to make empire a German institution. And by then, the axiom "the king is the emperor of his kingdom" was established. The change was reflected in the final evolution of the empire's title, Sacrum Romanum Imperium Nationis Germanica, Holy Roman Empire of a German Nation. The revival of papacy started in the middle of the 11th century. After Henry III's death, the initiative passed into the papal's hands, which enabled the papacy to act without fear of intervention from the north of the Alps, and by the appearance of the allies, particularly the Normans of the Kingdom of Sicily, who, for their own purposes, supported the papacy against the empire. The people of Europe turned to the Pope as the leader of Christendom. Otto II made Rome the seat of the empire. All the rest, from Charlemagne onward, concentrated their efforts at the north of the Alps. The empire was a very imperfect realization of the ideal of an Imperium Christianum. As soon as it was in a position to vindicate its independence, the papacy found many adherents. The Holy Roman Empire and its religious origins, far more effective in the minds of the barbarian people of the West, was the idea of the Imperium Christianum, or Christian Empire, which took shape after the conversion of Constantine the Great and the reconciliation between Christianity and the Roman Empire. Christianity spread throughout Europe and the Mediterranean area during Middle Ages. Here, you will see an expansion of Christianity and Islam. There was a separation of the Western and the Eastern Christianity in the year 1054. When one turns from the precondition to the causes of the events of 800, and from the realm of ideas to that of political facts, one enters another world. It is the world of the Byzantine or Eastern Empire, of which the Pope was a subject, confirmed in his bishopric like other bishops by the Byzantine Emperor. By the 8th century, however, the imperial position in Italy, centered in the Exarchate of Ravenna, was crumbling. Confronted by the power of Islam, the empire concentrated on the problems of the East and was unable to defend its Italian lands from the Lombards, who had entered Italy in the 568.